Hi guys, this is Kashika. Welcome to yet another video from IntelliPad. So before getting started, let's have a look at the agenda for today's session. First of all, I'll get you introduced to Salesforce, and then we'll discuss what cloud computing is. Then we'll talk about the products and services which Salesforce provides. After that, we'll move on to learning how Salesforce is as a CRM company. And then we'll learn about the hot buzz in the market, that is CRM. Later, we'll see the robust architecture of Salesforce to see how it works internally. And why is Salesforce so popular in the market and why is the hype for? Finally, we'll do a hands-on so that you understand how you can use Salesforce. So without any further ado, let's get started with the first topic of today's session, that is Introduction to Salesforce. Well, if you track your information in various different places, finding your way through spreadsheets, emails, PDFs, and documents, you know that it can take you a very long time to find the required information, right? Well, Salesforce will come to your rescue here. So, what really is Salesforce? So basically, Salesforce is a cloud-based software company which started off as a customer relationship management platform, better said, CRM. It now provides software solutions and platform to users and developers. Salesforce is a centralized place where you can track everything you need. As Salesforce runs on a cloud, it can be accessed anywhere you want. All you really need is a mobile device, just like using Gmail or Amazon. So what are the applications of Salesforce? There are various applications of Salesforce, but we'll discuss only a few of them. Talking about HR system, every company across the globe has an HR team. Each HR team would require an HR application to store employee records. Almost all specifications for such an application would be common for all the companies. So as a developer, it would be very easy for me to create an application for such specifications. I can just post it onto the cloud and provide that application as a service to multiple clients at the same time. Maintenance of the same can be done altogether as well. So basically, the problem of scalability gets eliminated here. It's the same with financial systems. Since most of the finance companies or banks need to keep track of different transactions, like who is making the transaction, how much was the amount transacted, and at what time the transaction was made. So a single application can be created to perform all these required applications. And by just posting this application onto the cloud, multiple clients can be serviced. Similarly, banks and call centers are using Salesforce. Before getting deeper into Salesforce, let's discuss about cloud first. So what is cloud computing? So basically, cloud computing is a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data, rather than a local server or personal computer. A remote server, as in some server or a system which is located very far off where your data or application will be stored. And you will be accessing this server using the internet. So this is what cloud computing is. Basically, when you use your software application over the internet. Right. So what are the benefits of cloud computing? Like, why do we use them? The first and the foremost reason to use cloud computing is the overall cost is less. The services are free from capital expenditure. There are no huge costs for hardware. You just have to pay as you operate it and enjoy the model based on your subscription plan. Secondly, it is available 24/7. Most of the cloud providers are truly reliable in offering their services. They provide uptime of 99.9%. The workers can get onto the applications needed basically from anywhere. Third, it is easily accessible. That is, you can work from anywhere across the globe as long as you have an internet connection. Even while using the critical cloud services that offer mobile apps, there is no limitation of the device use. The fourth benefit of using cloud computing is that it is very secure. It offers great security when any sensitive data has been lost. As the data is stored in the system, it can be easily accessed even if something happens to your computer. You can even remotely wipe out the data from the lost machines or avoiding it getting in the wrong hands. Next, it offers flexible facility, which means that the capacity of the cloud can be turned off, up or down as per the circumstance of the user. For instance, promotion of sales is very popular. Capacity can be immediately and quickly added to it for the avoidance of losing sales and crashing servers. And then, when those sales are done, the capacity can be shrunk down for the reduction of costs. Next cloud application is that it enhances collaboration. That is by authorizing diverse groups of people virtually meeting and exchanging information with the help of shared storage. Such capability helps in improvising customer service and product development and also reducing the marketing time. Another benefit of cloud computing is that it helps out organizations to reduce their carbon footprint. So, organizations utilize only the amount of resources they require, which helps them to avoid any over-provisioning. Hence, no waste of resources and thus energy. Last, but the most important benefit of cloud computing is that it has automated updates of software. So basically, the server suppliers regularly update your software, including the updates on security, so that you don't need to waste your crucial time on maintaining the software. So now that you have a basic idea of cloud computing, let's move further to understand what Salesforce is. Alright, so let's now talk about the products and services provided by Salesforce. Now there are two types of services which Salesforce provides. One is SaaS, that is software as a service, and PaaS, that is platform as a service. We'll discuss about both of these separately in the following slides. Alright, so let's have a look at software as a service platform in detail and get an in-depth knowledge of it. Software as a service or SaaS is a way of delivering applications over the internet as a service. Instead of installing and maintaining the software, you simply access it via the internet, freeing yourself from complex software and hardware management. So basically, in simpler terms, SaaS is a platform which is managed by the vendor. You just need to consume the services provided by the vendor to you. SaaS is used by the end users like you. So let's talk about SaaS with an example so that you understand it better. Let's talk about Gmail, where you exchange emails. Did you ever think about what actually is happening in the backend? Like how do mails get sent or how we receive them? Well, even if you have, does it matter how it works? No, right? Because everything that happens in the backend or anywhere in the website is taken care of by the Gmail developer team. You just need to write emails, send them, and manage them. So basically, your only concern here is to consume the services provided by Gmail. You don't care what happens in the backend since you are using the services provided by Gmail and don't care how the platform works and what is happening in the backend. Let's talk about Facebook. So Facebook is similar to Gmail. The services are provided to you by the Facebook developer team. You use it. You basically consume the services which are provided to you. Alright, I think by now you would have had a very good idea of what SaaS or software as a service is. So now we'll get a little more deeper into SaaS. Let's now talk about the major areas covered by SaaS. Alright, so we have data centers, servers, operating systems, database management, and cloud-hosted applications, all of which come under SaaS. So all of these components are managed by the vendor itself. You don't need to worry about any of these. So in SaaS, there's nothing that you need to do. Everything is provided to you. You just need to consume the services. So all these components are predefined by the vendor. The vendor manages them. The vendor maintains them and does all the things that are required. Now, we'll discuss about the products which are offered by Salesforce. So we have Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Commerce Cloud, Marketing Cloud, Collaboration Cloud, Analytics Cloud, and the Community Cloud. We'll discuss about each one of them in the following slides. So Sales Cloud. Sales Cloud is the most popular and the most trusted cloud service offered by Salesforce. It is very useful for companies which require a lot of follow-ups with respect to leads and customers. It makes the work of sales representatives very easy as Sales Cloud gives him a very consolidated view of all the customers. All the data can be stored in a single window with all the required details. With just a single click, the details of the customer can be viewed, edited, or deleted. So basically, this amazing cloud focuses only on enhancing the effectiveness of the sales team of an organization, and that actually increases the amount of sales of the particular company. Next, we're going to talk about Service Cloud. Well, by the name itself, you know it, right? Service. So this cloud is used by the customer support team. It helps a company service its customers better in a more optimized way. You can also use Service Cloud to track the performance of your service agents. Service Cloud is more focused in providing support and help to the customers. So that was about Service Cloud. Now let's talk about Commerce Cloud. Commerce Cloud basically connects the customers and shoppers with the right product at the right time. It is used for connecting merchandises with the right information they need in order to make the right business decisions with artificial intelligence. Commerce Cloud focuses on an automated way of targeting your lead. Next, we're going to talk about the Marketing Cloud. Marketing Cloud can again be used to perform digital marketing activities. All the marketing people out there can use this cloud to achieve many automated marketing strategies, such as sending an email, targeting customers, and all those things. All of these things comprise under the Marketing Cloud. So it basically focuses on the digital marketing automation and analytics software and services. Next is the Collaboration Cloud. Collaboration Cloud, or QUIP, which Salesforce calls it, actually changes the way a team works together. It is used for combining data, documents, spreadsheets, and everything that you want. It is basically used to connect your content and communicate with your team. Using the Collaboration Cloud, you can create, edit, discuss, and organize your team's work all in one place. So that is what Collaboration Cloud is. So the next cloud we're going to talk about is the Analytics Cloud. So as the name suggests, Analytics Cloud basically deals with the analysis. You can integrate Analytics Cloud with various other clouds and get business insights of why the sales of particular quarter was less, or why was it more, or what the particular trends of the industry are. Also, you can customize and extend your analytics to match all your needs. You can customize your dashboard according to your needs as well. You can get the data from all clouds and give an analysis of what the problem was in the outcome. All kind of analytics can be performed in this cloud. Data analytics and business intelligence can be done in this cloud as well, and reports can be generated. Next is the Community Cloud. Community Cloud. It is a social platform that is designed to connect and facilitate communication among an organization's employees, partners, and customers. Community Cloud is basically focused on an automated way of communication of all the customers with each other or with the support team. These were all the SaaS products which are offered by Salesforce. Now we're going to talk about PaaS, or Platform as a Service. Now, Platform as a Service is a proven model for running applications without the hassle of maintaining on-premise hardware and software infrastructure at your company. Better said, PaaS is a platform which is provided by the vendor to you to build, compile, and run your program. Users need to manage data and application resources. PaaS is used by the developers. So the provider takes care of the underlying part of the infrastructure. So the server is taken care of, the virtual machine is taken care of. You are given predefined tools and you can use them to build your own application. Now, talking about Azure as an example, it is used for building, testing, deploying, and managing applications and services through Microsoft managed data centers. So Azure is the best example of PaaS, since you can make your own applications on Azure and deploy them. The same is with GitHub. Now we'll talk about the components that the vendor manages and the components that you manage when you have PaaS, or Platform as a Service. So when you have PaaS, data center, server, operating system, database management, all of these are managed by a vendor. But the cloud-hosted applications which were managed by the vendor in SaaS are not managed by the vendor in PaaS, since all these cloud-hosted applications are to be managed by you. Let's now talk about the PaaS products offered by Salesforce. So first, the Salesforce platform. With this amazing product of Salesforce, you can develop apps in just a few clicks. You can also digitalize any business process and then integrate and connect it to anything. There are two types in this, Lightning and Heroku. So the Salesforce platform is used to develop apps that engage employees to extend your sales and service capabilities. Or another product of PaaS that is offered by Salesforce is MuleSoft Anypoint platform. It is used to move a lot faster on the e-commerce storefront and focuses your attention on building a great customer experience. So by now you know what PaaS is. So now we'll talk about how Salesforce is working as a PaaS company. But first, let's talk about the traditional system of PaaS, and then we'll move on to how Salesforce has changed the procedure of building an application. So let's talk about the traditional system first. The traditional way of building an application took a lot of time. Let's look what all procedures were required to build an application before the introduction of Salesforce. First of all, the idea of making a particular application was brought up. Next, hardware and setup had to be brought. Then, the installing of software was initiated. After that, the user access had to be defined. Then the setup analytics had to be done. The securities needed had to be set up. The app, if it needs to be mobile and social, that needs to be done. And then the app was built. And lastly, the app was deployed. in this whole process, around an year or a few months would have been gone by. So Salesforce came into the picture for rescue for the developers. Let's see how. Salesforce provide a very short and efficient process of building an app. With Salesforce, the developer isn't worried about buying and setting up the hardware, installing the software, defining users, setting up a means for reporting and analytics, building security around the application, and making it mobile, accessible, and social. As with Salesforce, all of these code components came as a single package. Developers had to go ahead and build an application, release it to its clients, as they don't need to worry about any of the core components. It has gradually increased their productivity. Now, they can straight away build the application on the platform provided to them by Salesforce and release it onto the cloud. That is how Salesforce has changed the life of many developers. Salesforce as a CRM company. So guys, Salesforce started off as a CRM platform providing CRM on the cloud. SaaS is majorly used by Salesforce today. It launched the concept of customer relationship management, better said CRM. For those of you who don't know what CRM is, let me give you a brief about CRM first. So what is CRM? CRM is a strategy for managing an organization's relationships and interaction with customers and potential customers. It helps companies stay connected to customers, streamline processes, and improve profitability. The goal of CRM system is simple: improve business relationships. It also involves analyzing customer interactions throughout the customer lifecycle. CRM is focused on enhancing customer service, improving business relationships, profitability, aiding in customer retention, and driving sales growth. Now, let's move on to know what the benefits of CRM are. Communication. Due to CRM system, you have a separate platform for communication with clients. Unlike email, which can be cluttered up, your client management department can easily view client messages and respond to them in time. The next benefit of using CRM is analysis. CRM will help you track every move your customers make. This will help you develop better client relations and improve your customer service. This will also help you find leads who have the same criteria as your current customers. Another benefit of using CRM is relationship with customers. Now, CRM builds very good and long-lasting relationship with its customers through small yet very meaningful functions such as sending birthday wishes. Another benefit of using CRM is that CRM helps the sales team close the deals much faster. This is done by facilitating quicker and more efficient responses to customers' lead and information. They believe that customers get more convinced to turn their inquiries into purchases once they are responded promptly. Another benefit of using CRM is customer loyalty. CRM software is useful in measuring customer loyalty in a less costly manner. Mostly, the loyal customers become professional recommendations of the businesses and the service offered. Also, the business can promote their services to new prospects based on testimonials from customers, which are even more convincing. Alright, so these were the benefits of CRM. But until CRM was founded, it was very difficult to maintain all of these. Let me explain to you why. Now first we'll talk about the traditional system, obviously, since we want to know why Salesforce CRM was developed. The biggest problem with traditional CRM was that it was too costly. Now this was because it was hosted on company's own server. It was very difficult to understand and use. Also, it used to take months or even years to set up the CRM on a company's server. And lastly, it required very high overall cost. And by the time all of this was done, it would have been taken a lot of time. Now, these were the problems with traditional CRM. Salesforce CRM revolutionized the CRM world. It had many advantages. It was hosted on the cloud. It was easy to understand. It used to take very less weeks or even very less days to create, and it was overall very cheap. So the Salesforce gets most of its revenue from CRM. Salesforce CRM revolutionized the IT industry by introducing companies with cloud-based CRM, which is easy to use. That is why in 2014, Salesforce was considered to be the number one CRM in the market. By now, you would have understood that you can use Salesforce to deliver a highly customizable application to your customers. In order to understand how Salesforce works, it is important for you to understand the architecture of Salesforce. So let's see how the Salesforce architecture looks like. After learning about Salesforce, let's see how it all works. So let's get to the roots of Salesforce and see the robust architecture of Salesforce. Think about Salesforce architecture as a series of layers sitting on top of each other. The core architecture of Salesforce has been put into the following layers for better understanding: multi-tenant, metadata, and API. Let's talk about these three separately. First, we'll talk about the multi-tenant architecture. As you can see from the image, it has a common application which is shared among multiple clients. Now, in multi-tenant architecture, all the data is stored in a single database, and it is provided for all of its customers. It is economical because resources and maintenance is shared among the customers. A single instance of a software server is shared among multiple tenants, and the provider can update a single application and the changes will be made in other applications as well. So it is very easy for the developer to update or maintain the application he created. Let's now talk about the metadata architecture. Salesforce follows this concept of metadata architecture. Metadata basically means data above data. And since all the data is stored in a common database, metadata points to one particular client's database. Developers need to concentrate only on building an applications. Functionalities of an app are defined by metadata in a database. This increases the developer's productivity. Now let's consider three clients, A, B, and C, sharing a single database. So each client will have access to their own metadata from the shared data. So each client will have separate metadata. This ensures that you don't get into someone else's metadata. This also increases the security of the shared database. Developers just need to create the application and deliver the application to the respective client's metadata. So the issues of data security and data integrity get sorted with this particular architecture, since all the data is stored on different levels, that is, data above data. Next, we'll talk about API. API or Application Programming Interface are used by Salesforce. These APIs help in the development and customization of Salesforce mobile application. A powerful source of APIs is provided by Salesforce. Their purpose is to let you manipulate your Salesforce data, whereas other APIs let you do things like customize page layouts or build custom development tools. Put simply, API is a way for a client to be more interactive with server and exchange data. APIs are very simple. Typical uses of API include creating, reading, updating, and deleting of data on a server, or in case of Salesforce, object and record you have on Sales Cloud. Salesforce takes API first approach to build features on Salesforce platform. Now, why is Salesforce gaining popularity these days? When a piece of technology is popular for such a long time, it is not because of their excellent marketing strategy, but it is because of the fact that people trust in it. Every business, big or small, trusts Salesforce. As it is seen that research and advisory firm Gartner lists Salesforce as one of the CRM leaders in 2018. It is now the leader for 10th consecutive year. That's an excellent achievement given that there are a lot more competitive CRM in the market today. Now let's see why Salesforce is the best amongst various other CRM providers. Now the reason why Salesforce is gaining so much popularity and is the best among the others is because number one, scalability and customization. When companies implement CRM, they're not thinking about the present. Rather, they want to make sure that 3 to 4 years down the line, will this particular CRM they are buying right now be the best for their company or not. Salesforce scalability and customization makes it easy for the companies to choose this platform, as it gives them an assurance that CRM will meet their business needs 3 to 4 years down the road. Another reason why Salesforce is gaining so much popularity is because of its unique multi-tenant architecture, which means that every customer has the same infrastructure and platform despite their size or type of their purchase plan. Customers don't need to worry about any updates. As we learned earlier, multi-tenancy makes maintenance very easy without customer intervention. Another reason is data security. To provide a security model which satisfied numerous real-world business cases, Salesforce provides 3 very comprehensive and flexible data security models to secure the data at different levels. That is object level, field level, and record level security. Another reason why Salesforce is gaining so much popularity is because maintenance. Salesforce provides regular updates and maintenance for sustaining the security, availability, and performance of the infrastructure supporting Salesforce services. Before the maintenance is scheduled, all the customers are pre-informed about the date and time of the maintenance window. These were the major reasons why Salesforce is gaining so much popularity. Let's now shift on to hands-on. First, we'll be creating a Salesforce developers account. We'll now move on to hands-on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a Salesforce developers account. So let's see how that can be done. We'll visit the website developer.salesforce.com. Now this is the actual developers account website from Salesforce. So you're just going to click on sign up. This is the sign up form that you get in the developer's account. So you're just gonna fill in your first name, your last name, your email address, your job role, your company's name, the country you're in, the postal code, and your username. So the username of Salesforce developer's account needs to be in this format. So it should be written as your name at your company's name.com. So this is how Salesforce wants your username to be. This is the username that you will be using to log into your Salesforce account in future. So make sure this is in the right format. So when that is done, when you're done filling the whole form, you'll just click on sign me up. Now when you click on sign me up, you're gonna get an email from Salesforce asking you to verify your account. Now at this point, you'll have your username over here and you'll have the URL. So when you log into your Salesforce account for the first time, they'll ask you to change your password. Alright, so you're gonna do that. It is mandatory for you to change the password actually. So you will do that. Then you will just directly log into your Salesforce account using this URL, that is login.salesforce.com. Now you're just gonna enter your username and your password. Alright, so this is the actual dashboard of your Salesforce developers account. Now there are so many things that you can do in this particular account and this dashboard. So you have all of these applications that you can start. There's Mobile Publisher, there's Go Mobile, Visit App Exchange. You can create an app over here. You can customize, you can do everything you want over here. You will have the recently used menu over here. If you're creating the account for the first time, you won't have that. Now this is the quick menu from where you can access everything you need to develop and everything. This is the object manager. You can create an object over here. Alright, so there are two types of versions in Salesforce. So the first one is the classic version and the other one is the lightning version. The one which you're seeing right now on your screen is the lightning version. It has better UI. It's more appealing as compared to the other version. So let's switch to the other, that is the classic version. You're just going to click on this little icon over here and you're going to click on switch to Salesforce Classic. When you click on that, here you'll see this is the classic version. So the reason Salesforce has these two versions is that when Salesforce was initially started, Salesforce had this classic version only. Salesforce didn't have the lightning version. So almost like a lot of customers of Salesforce are currently using the Salesforce Classic account only. So that is why Salesforce didn't remove this version when they introduced the lightning experience version. So everything that you can do in the classic version, you can do in the lightning version, yet there are few things that are available in the lightning version only, which are not available in the classic version. Alright, so let's just quickly have a tour of this particular version. So you have chatter over here. This is chat. This is the tab bar, by the way. This is the chatter tab. So basically chatter is a social group or a social forum where you can enter your questions and you can find answers to your questions and everything. This is the libraries tab wherein you have all your objects and fields related things. This is the content tab. You have all the research, like you can have all your libraries, private library, asset library over here. And this is next tab is the subscription tab. You can have all your subscribed items viewed on this particular tab. Now, there are two ways to go back to the lightning version. You can click on switch to lightning version over here, or you can just click on your name and then they will be switched to lightning version. Alright, now this setup is the place where you have all the data or anything that you need to create. It's always here. Build, you can customize, create, develop, lightning bolt and everything. Then we have help, then we have content, and that can be done. Alright, so since the lightning version is more visually appealing, we'll switch to lightning version, and we'll whatever we're gonna do on the lightning version instead of the classic version. So we'll switch to the lightning version or the lightning experience over here. This is the home. You can have all kinds of things over here. This is the graph of when was it used the last time and everything. This is, you can have your today's tasks aligned over here, your events, all your records. You can have the opportunities over here. This is an assistant. You can have anything that you want your assistant to remind you. You can put your reminders over here and everything. So basically, this particular dashboard that you see right now is completely customizable. You can even customize this blue line over here. You can customize the color of this line. You can arrange all your items on this particular dashboard according to your need. You can have your social accounts aligned over here or anywhere you want, just in case you want to compare things or keep track of everything you want. So this is the actual dashboard that you see. Now, as you can see that the lightning version has better and smarter views as compared to the classic version, and it has more columns and more dashboards for you to easily connect with things. So this is the app launcher that we have right here. These are all the apps that were predefined or were created. You can have, this is the charter again that we had in the classic version I already told you about. So this particular home page is completely customizable. And yeah, it has a modern and better visual appeal as compared to the classic version. So this was about the classic and the lightning version. So next we'll move on to creating a application from scratch. Now, Salesforce provides you with predefined or preloaded objects, fields, and relationships. I'm going to tell you everything about them in just a minute. So, but here, because we are creating an application from the scratch, we want to create everything of that application that we need. We're going to have all the objects, we're going to have fields, relationships, opportunities, everything. We're going to build all of them from scratch. Now, Salesforce is said to be a very good platform for the people who want to build an application in just a jiffy. So we're going to try to build an application in Salesforce as fast as we can, and let's see is it actually helpful for us as compared to a traditional system of building an application. Alright, so let's get into it. So in order to create an application, you're just going to click on this gear icon right over here, which says setup. You're going to click on setup over here. Now, whenever you click on setup, you're going to have a new window open, which will show everything related to your setup. Alright, so let's now decide what kind of application are we building. Alright, so let's imagine that your customer, or let's just imagine that you own a car renting company named as XYZ, and you need to track the mileage of each vehicle for a particular time duration. Alright, so this is the particular application we're going to create. It's very simple, it's very quick. Let's see how we'll create an application for this particular scenario. Alright, to the left hand side menu, onto your setup menu, you'll see platform tools. You'll click on objects and fields. Then you'll move to object manager. Click on that. Now, since I already told you that we're going to create this application from scratch, so we're going to build an object first. So the first thing that you're going to do is building an object. We're going to click on create here. This is the create menu. We're going to click on custom object. This is the menu, or this is the form for creating a custom object. So label is the name of the object. It's going to be, so let's just name the object as trip. Then the plural label would be trips. it just comes on automatically. Now we have the object name. This comes on automatically as well. Now we have the description. All right. You can add any description you want according to your wish. You may or may not add it. It's not required. So here you can see it says this red mark shows required information, right? So this label, plural, label, object name, all of these were required. Description is not required. Yet you can have the description over here as well, just in case you want to remember why you created this particular object. Now you have two options over here which says context sensitive help setting. So this is the first one is open the standard salesforce.com help and training window, or there's an option saying open a window using a visual force page. We're just gonna go with the default one, which is the open the standard salesforce.com help and training window. Alright, now we have enter record name, label and format. So the record name automatically came up, as you can see, the trip name. Now the data type, we have two types of data types here, that is text and auto number. So since we're gonna have our car number over here, we're gonna keep track using the car number. So we're just gonna choose the data type as auto number instead of text. Now we'll need to fix particular display format. So let's just go with I dash, and then we're gonna have the curly braces. Then we're gonna have 5 zeros over there and close the curly braces. Now this is how the card number is going to be displayed as. So you can adjust your zeros according to your wish. I just added 5 zeros. Next is the starting number. Starting number, you can have it from 1 or 1000 or whatever you want. So let's set this as 1000, or just put it as 10. Let's just put it as 10. We're gonna have the starting number as 10. Now these are the optional features that we have right here. Allow reports, allow activities, track field history, allow in charter groups. So we want our reports to be displayed. We want our activities to be displayed onto a dashboard, and we want to track our field history as well. Now you can allow the changes that are going to be made in the charter groups as well. That can be done as well, but here I'm not going to allow that. Now we have object classification. So we're going to allow sharing, we're going to allow bulk API access as well, and streaming API access as well. That is all default. Deployment status also we're going to have as deployed as default. Next, we're just gonna skip all of these. This is object creation option, available only when custom object is first created. So let's just skip all this, and then we're gonna click on save. So this is our object. It has been created. Now, when this is created, okay, so this is the form for you to create an object, a new custom object. All the blanks which have these red marks, that means that those particular fields are important. As this says required information, they're required. So let's just name our label or our object name as trips or trip. We'll have the plural label as trips. Now the object name comes on automatically. Next is the description. Now description is some like if you want to add any description that you want for future purposes, you can have that over here. This is not required, but you may or may not have it. Next, we'll move on to this particular section which says enter record name, label and format. Record name, it says trip name, it automatically comes up. Data type. Now we have two types of data types over here, which is text and auto number. You can have any one that you want, but here since we're gonna have the car name as in numerals, so we'll choose this as auto number. Now the display format. Display format is how your object is gonna have its field as. So we're gonna have it as I dash. We have to put it in curly braces. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna have, let's say, 5 zeros over there. It's your wish how many zeros you want to have. It depends on you. I have 5 zeros over here. It just means that it's gonna be in thousands something. Next, we have the starting number. Starting number, we can have 1, we can have 10, 100, 1000, anything. Let's have 1 over here. Next, we have optional features. In the optional features, we'll choose allow reports, activities, track field history. You can allow in chatter groups as well, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want my object to be visible on the chatter groups. So we're just going to allow the reports of the particular object. We're going to have the activities, and we're going to have all the field history of all kinds. Then we have object classification. We're going to have allow sharing, allow bulk API access, allow streaming API access. This is default. We're just going to let it be there. Deployment status, we're just going to have it deployed. That is also default. Now this is search status. Alright, so when this setting is enabled, the users can find records of this object type when they search it. So that is what we want, right? So we're just going to click on allow search over here. Then we're going to have, the next section is object creation options. So yes, we'll have add notes and attachments related list to default page layout. Also, we'll have launch new custom tab wizard after saving this custom object. Now, why we need to this? Why we are now the reason why we ticked this particular field was because we want that after we have just created this particular object, when we click on save, there's other things that we want in the object to be. Now we're going to see that when we click on save, but for now we just understand that you need to click on this to have certain customizable things. So we're just going to click on save. Now this is the new custom object tab. Alright, so what are the tabs that we have? The tabs are actually the like home is tab over here. We have object manager as tab over here. So what Salesforce actually wants you to have is when you create a dashboard of an application, you can have several tabs over here of your objects. Alright, so you can just click on that particular tab and you can access that object. So that is how it works. So we are creating a tab for this particular object. So the object right here is trip. Now tab style. You can customize your tab style, or I'm just going to search it from here. This is the particular, these are little icons over here with different colors. So since our object name is trip, it is related to cars. So let's just choose this as car. Alright. This is a little icon over here and the color. Now we're gonna click on next. We're gonna leave this as default. All right. So these are all the profiles that we want so these are all the profiles who would be able to view our object, this particular object that we just created, or the object tab. So we're just gonna leave it as default and click on next. Again, these are all the default things, and these are the custom apps. Now, all the custom apps that we're going to create, we can add it to them as well. So we're just going to leave it to default and click on save. Or let's just not include these tabs. Let's see how it works. So we're going to click on save. Alright, so now we created a custom object, and now we'll create fields for this particular object. So we'll go to fields and relationships, which is the second option on the left hand side menu, which is this particular one, fields and objects. We're going to click over there. We're going to click on new. This is the new custom field. Alright, so let me just explain you what fields are. So for every object that you create, you're gonna have a particular reason why you're creating an object, right? So for here, for this case, we created trip, right? So we created trip so that we know the actual date of the particular trip. So for this particular field, I'm gonna choose date over here. So let's just read what the description says. It says allows users to create a date or pick a date from a pop-up calendar. We just want this to be there. This is a radio button thing, so only one of these can be chosen. So we're gonna click on next. Now this is the field label. Now you can have a custom field as well as you want, or you will actually need that to be. Now since we clicked on date, we're just gonna name this field label as date, and we want to add the particular operation. We want to add the actual thing that is going to be done in this particular field. So the field name comes on automatically. Now we're gonna click on show formula editor. We're gonna click on today, or if we have this, we're gonna have insert operator. So we're gonna have subtract over here. Now wait, let's just delete this. First we're gonna start from the left hand side. Alright, so here we're gonna select the organization. Here we're gonna select or we're just going to leave this as it is, and we're just going to write today because we want the particular field to be for that particular day, for today only. So we're going to click on check syntax. Now it says no syntax errors in merge fields or functions. So we're going to click on next. We're going to make visible this particular field to all the default files, and we're going to click on next. We're going to add this to the page layout. So we have add field, page layout, that's the trip layout. We're going to click on save and new. So we are creating another field for that particular object only. So now we're going to go with number, then the car number. It would be allows users to enter any number, leading zeros are removed. So we're going to click on next. This is the actual field for starting mileage. Label should be starting mileage. Let's put the length as 7 and the decimal places as 2 because that is what I want. And we're going to click on next. We're going to have all the default things over here and click on next. We're going to add this to the page layout. We're going to click on save and new. Now the another field that we're going to choose is number again because we want it to be the ending mileage. We're going to click on next. We're going to put it as ending mileage. This as 16 and let's just put this as 7 only, and this as 2. This comes automatically. We're gonna click on next. We're gonna have all the default things. Click on next. We are gonna add it to the page layout and we're gonna click on save. Alright, so these are all the field and relationships that we have created right now. So this is date, this is ending mileage, and this is starting mileage. Alright, we have that. Now we need to add the formula for finding out this mileage. Okay, so we'll subtract the ending mileage to the starting mileage to calculate the mileage of the trip. Alright, so now we'll create a field for that. Click on new field. We'll find formula over here. It's right here, formula, and we're gonna go to next. And for the field label, we're gonna put it as distance traveled. And the field name comes out automatically. We're gonna have this as number again because that is what we want. The options are decimal 2 places. That is what we already had it as. We're gonna click on next. We're gonna click on advanced formula. Now we're gonna have insert field. We're gonna insert field as where's our ending mileage. This is our ending mileage. We're gonna insert this. Now we're gonna insert an operator as subtract. Then we're going to insert another field as starting mileage. Insert this. So this is a very basic formula thing. So we're just going to take the ending mileage of the car and we'll subtract that to the starting mileage of the car, and then we'll know the distance traveled. Right. So we're going to check syntax. It's all clear. No syntax errors. We're going to click on next now. Let's now take the defaults again. Click on next and save. Alright, so now we have that as well. All of our fields, relationships, objects, everything is created and everything's ready to go. So we'll now click on this gear button over here, which says setup, open in the new tab. We're gonna click on app manager. Here's app manager. You can click on apps. This is app manager. We're going to click on new lightning app. Alright, so before doing this, one thing I wanted to tell you was that here we created the objects and field for the particular requirement we want. But as I already told you that Salesforce has it has predefined objects. So you can use those objects as it is without any edits. They'll have everything you need. So you will just directly need to click on this gear button as we just did. As soon as you log into your Salesforce account, click on this gear button, click on apps, go to app manager, click on new lightning app. Alright, and it's just going to be similar as we're going to do right now. All the steps from now on are going to be similar. Just your object name is going to be different. Rest everything is going to be similar. So we're just going to name our app as tracker. Alright, so tracker. developer name as tracker. If you want to just enter a description, so we're just gonna have mileage tracker. Now, as I told you, the Lightning experience gives you a very user-friendly look. So they also wanted us to add an image over here. You can add any image you want. I'm just going to skip this part for now, but you can add any image. You can change the color. So let's just change the color to yellow. I'll just tell you where that comes. Just hold on for a second. And these org theme options use the app's image and color instead of org's custom theme. We're going to click on yes, we want that. We're going to click on next. Then we have the navigation as standard navigation and console navigation. There are two different styles. These two are the navigation styles, standard navigation and the console navigation. Let's just go with the standard navigation. We don't want the console navigation thing. It's going to take so much time for us. So we'll just go to standard navigation. Setup experience, we'll just have it set up, default, and we'll just go to next. Alright, so this is a utility bar, items that we're gonna add right now. Now, what is utility bar? Utility bar is basically, or I'll actually show it to you when the dashboard is there. Let's just add the utility items according to our wish. So basically, this is where you can add things according to your convenience and is present at the left hand corner of or the bottom of the window. All right, and it is app specific. And something which is different about utility bar is that this is only Lightning specific. So if you want to use utility bar, you can use it only in this Lightning experience, not in the classic experience. So let's just add a utility item over here. We're gonna add chatter field. We're gonna add list view. We want history as well, and we want notes as well. And then you can actually choose the width, height, and everything you want of the utility item things. So this is history for everything it can be. And for icon as well, you can choose the icon as well from here. All right, so that is done. We're gonna click on next. Now, these are the navigation items. Alright, so this is the place we're gonna actually add the object that we created, which is trip. We're gonna click on trips and we're gonna shift it over here. You just need to click on this particular arrow over here to add this to your selected items. Next, we're gonna have home as our items. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna have accounts as well. Accounts is a default or predefined object that was created in Salesforce. So I'm just using that. I'm gonna click on this. So keeping it simple, we just have these three items over here and we'll click on next. Alright, user profile, this particular function will help you to choose who all profiles should have access to your app. Alright, so we will just, you can have flexible control over who you're creating your app for. So we'll just have this as system administrator. Find that, add that, or you can go ahead and add all of them. It's actually your wish. So I'll just add custom support profile. That's it. We're just gonna have two of these profiles who are able to use and see our app. Alright, so that is all. We're gonna click on save and finish. So we will have our app created over here. We just need to find it. Alright, so it's here. Alright, now we're gonna go to setup, this particular checkboard kind of an icon. We're gonna find our tracker over here, click on tracker. Alright, so this is the place where I'm going to show you everything. Now we chose this yellowish, dark yellowish color. It's right here. As I told you, all of that can be changed. Now, if I would have added an image, so that image would come here. The application image would be here. All right, it would be here. Now, let's just click on all, home. And this is the thing. Since we just created the application, we don't have much things over here. All right, so now let's just go back to our previous tab. We're going to refresh this page. We're going to go to home. We're going to click on apps, app manager. Now you'll see a list of all the apps that you created or that were already predefined. So this is here, it's the tracker. See, you can see this. This is the tracker app that we just created. So yeah, so that is what. Now this is the actual dashboard of the app. Alright, so this is the utility bar that I was talking about. I'll show you later. So this is history. We added history as an item. We added list view. We added chatter feed. We can have everything over here. In just a click, we have all the things that we need over here. Alright, so we'll go back here. Now here you can go and you can actually, like, if you feel you need to add another field, another object or anything, you can just go back here, find your thing over here. It's this tracker thing. You can click on this little arrow over here, click on edit, and the builder is going to take you to this new page, and then you can edit almost everything. You can change your color, whichever color you want. You can change the navigation items, like if you don't want it to be there. You can add more items. You can delete a few items. So if you don't want accounts over there, you can send it back. You can add cars to it or any item that you want. Let's add images to that. We'll add leads to that. Alright, so we just added that. You can add the user profiles or delete the user profiles. Let me just save this first. User profiles, you can add anything that you want from here. So let's add the marketing user as well over here. I'll just show you everything. So basically everything can be upgraded just in case you don't want that particular thing. And then we're just gonna click on back. So we're gonna refresh this. And now we have everything that we need. Let's go to this checkerboard kind thing, click on tracker. And we have it here. Alright, so this is, so we just created our application. That is how you create an application, I guess. It was very simple and very easy to create an application in Salesforce because it was all drag and drop. You don't need to code anything or do anything. Just go ahead and select a few things, drag and drop and everything. Alright, so I hope you had fun building an application. You can build an application with your own custom objects like we just did, or you can just directly use the predefined objects that we have in Salesforce and directly build an application from there. Now here you'll see that there are no accounts that were added to this. When you go to home, there was no opportunities, nothing. Because that is because we just created an object and we added that object to this particular application, so it won't have any views, nothing over there. We have trips. We can add a trip. We have for the particular date we want starting mileage. Let's have it as 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and let's put the end mileage as 76890. So we're gonna have save. The trip was created. Now it will tell you the distance traveled, which was 31,000, this much. So the trip name was 1, as we had the starting thing was the starting value was 1. So we had this as 1. The format that we had given to them was I dash with 5 zeros, right? The date, it will have the date because we wanted the particular date on which we rented the vehicle. Then we have the starting mileage. We gave the starting mileage as 45,678, and we gave the ending mileage as 76,890, and then it subtracted this, and the distance traveled was this. Alright, so that is how this can be done. We can add new trips according to our wish. We can enter them, find the distance traveled, calculate them according to your wish. So this was the simple application that we created. Let's now get back to our slide. Alright, so I have a question here for you. Which one of the following is an example of PaaS or platform as a service? Is it Facebook? Is it GitHub? Is it Gmail? Or is it Netflix? Comment down your answer in the comments section below. I hope you had fun learning Salesforce. Thank you for watching.